computer seems to be made of wood at the moment. There we go. So hello ladies and gentlemen, 49 coming at you live from Hyde, Community Shoutcast for the OUSA Season 1. We just have a best of 2 playoff on right now. We've got Team Blink up against insert name here. Team Blink is currently the undisputed champion of the Group 1 playoffs. I don't think they've lost a game yet. They've gone 3-0. Their longest game lasts about 31 minutes. Their average game length is about 23 to 24 minutes, so very fast early aggression from coming out from them. Just waiting on Viceroy Gunray to load in. And the boys from insert name here, I haven't seen them play personally. I think they're all from halls, so they're actually at an internet cafe right now playing. Not too sure how much of an impact they'll make, but I believe the university proxies have gone down, so the people from halls finally can play. Alright, so he's just loaded in. And so in terms of the draft, what Blink like to do is they always like to first ban either the Ember Spirit or the Slark, and then the Invoker as their secondary ban. They really don't like to play against those two heroes. If they do get the first pick, they will let either the Slark or the Ember Spirit through. So it looks like we've got Blink coming in with the first ban.
Team ban.
And it looks like insert name here has actually changed their name to No One Cares About Lads. And, hey, what do you know? A bit of a surprise. Timbersaw first ban from Blink Dota. This is very interesting. I don't think Blink Dota have actually banned Timbersaw all too much in the past. It's usually because Timbersaw is excellent in the 1v1 situation. If he's up against a melee hero, it's almost guaranteed that he'll win. Because of that Whirling Death, it does a lot of damage. Pure damage if it hits a tree as well. You can use that to farm and harass at the same time. And if it's a strength melee hero such as a Bristleback, it reduces the primary stat by negative 15%. So negative 15% strength is a hell of an HP loss as well. The only drawback to Timbersaw is he does have to get a good start in order for him to transition to the mid game. And so he usually has to go 1v1. He can't really do 1v3 at all. He can do 1v2 in some situations, although he can be harassed at the lane. And so it's a bit of a greedy offlane pick. There are heroes such as a Clockwork that can function almost any lane, or even someone like a Mirana, who have that escape mechanism. Timbersaw, that recent nerf to his Timber Chain, that really affects his effectiveness, due to the fact that if you stun him while he's about to Timber Chain out, he can't just zip on out anymore. First ban Doom coming up from Team insert name here. Very strong hero, similar to that Nature's Prophet in the sense that he could get such a huge gold lead from his abilities that he could use that to power through his weaknesses, which is his low survivability. He has high strength gain and a high HP pool, but very low armor. That makes him pretty squishy. Also fairly slow, so out to the Scorched Earth, you can simply run him down. Secondary ban the Clockwork. So it looks like Blink Dota have banned out 2 very strong offlane heroes. They're trying to lock down. They know that usually in a mid matchup they do pretty well. They know that in the tri lane they have the freedom to pick up. There we go. So we've got the Ember Spirit first pick. Snow loves that hero. Loves to utilize the Flame Guards as well as the Slayer of Fist and the Siren Chain combination. You throw out the W while you're hitting them with the W. You throw out Q, locks them in place, saves you from wasting a Fire Remnant to initiate. Then you can use that Fire Remnant to zip in for follow-up damage, or even just a little bit of harassment from the W-Q combination. Means they always keep pretty low. Depending on the lineup, you could also choose to max out either the Fire Guard, which provides which is effectively a free Radiance as well as a free Pipe rolled into 1, or you could choose to max out the Slayer of Fist. Ideally, you want to get 3 points up in that Siren Chains as fast as possible, as it increases the lockdown duration from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. But keeping it at level 1 is something that a lot of pro players seem to do as well. So the secondary ban, we've got the Bat Rider. Once again, pretty self-explanatory hero. Can go into any lane, can go in jungle, generate a lot of farm. He has received a significant nerf recently with his base damage being reduced, but with Sticky Napalm he makes up for it. And we've got Crystal Maiden and Nature's Prophet as the first 2 pickups, both very strong heroes. Crystal Maiden, one of the best supports in the game right now, because of the fact that with Frostbite, if she's not doing anything in the lane, if she's just sitting around about to go for a ward or just roaming around the jungle, she can freeze a creep, use that to stay ahead in experiencing gold. Not only that, the Arcane Aura, 1.5 magic regen per second at level 1, globally to every single hero on your team is a huge advantage, especially to mana-hungry heroes, such as, for instance, if you have a Queen of Pain or a Shadow Fiend or even something like a Bristleback. We've got Nature's Prophet as a secondary pick, very strong offlane hero, functions similar to a Lone Druid in the sense that you could use the Treant Micro to leash the creep wave back to your tower or just in front of your tower, and so you can use that to get some golden experience. A lot safer than a Lone Druid in the sense that if you kill off the trees, it's not the end of the world, whereas if you kill off the bear, Lone Druid's completely useless until you get summon a new one. Nature's Prophet also has that global gank potential. If it's a try-v-try situation over on the other lane and a gank's about to go down, he could zip on in, throw out the Sprout, throw in some right clicks, use it to finish people off. And Ancient Apparition from Blink Dota. I keep telling people, ban Ancient Apparition against Blink Dota, but no one seems to listen. They haven't learned to fear that chilling touch. Him and Visage are right now the two kings of the tri-lane. Ancient Apparition in the sense that he can throw out chilling touch. If it's a triple range tri-lane, say what Blinkdo like to do is the Ancient Apparition, Skywrath Mage, and the Mirana. You throw out chilling touch, you have 3 heroes of 600 range, all with an extra 50 damage for the first 3 hits. That's a lot of damage coming up very fast. No way for you to escape against that. Ancient Apparition also punishes the Crystal Maiden pick, because he has the same range as her, but it's faster and hits a hell of a lot harder. So if Crystal Maiden's even a little bit out of position, or if they have another hero that has some kind of long-range snare or stun, Crystal Maiden will die in almost any tri-lane engagement. Third ban is the Nyx, so they're looking to ban out heroes they don't like to play against. So the reason why Nyx is banned is, especially against the 8-man Apparition, A8 can't actually do anything against Nyx once he activates Rage. It forces the support heroes to pick up a Force Staff or a Ghost Scepter, or both if they want to deal with him. So, and we've got a third ban, Outworld Destroyer. This is very interesting considering the fact that they have picked up the Ember Spirit, and they do know that Snow likes to play that Ember Spirit. It could just be... I mean, Ember Spirit can also operate in a safe lane as a tri-lane farmer, so I guess it's a safe bet in that sense that they're hammering down the lanes. They know they don't want to face against that OD. The reason for that is because with that Astral Imprisonment, he shuts down almost every other intelligence range mid-hero in the game. So it means that the only 2 heroes that could deal with him really well currently is the Viper with his Nether Toxin and Corrosive Skin, since his Q has always been changed around, so he only needs 1 point in that, as well as the Razor with his Static Link. He doesn't care about intelligence. If you get that link off, he could get more damage than you, harass you at the lane, going for those right clicks, and with the the Unstable Current, every time you go in for the Astral, you take a little bit of damage yourself. 4th ban, Nyx Assassin. Blink Dota really don't like to play against Nyx, and for very good reason. Impale, with the change, making it manual cast instead of auto cast, is a bit of a nerf, but if you're good enough as a player, it's not too big of a deal. The issue that with Nyx is the fact that you constantly have to deal with that mana burn. At level 4, it's a 4-second cooldown, very high range, 5 times your intelligence burnt off as mana, against the hero like an Ember Spirit who's extremely mana hungry, or against a squishy support that has low HP but high int. Mana burn hurts a hell of a lot, limits your ability to cast spells, and on top of that he's got the carapace, so if you decide to go on him, he can suddenly turn it around, stun you. If you've got a lot of AoE abilities flying around, you find yourself getting stunned. Good counter to heroes like that Bat Rider with that Firefly. All he has to do is walk onto the Firefly, activate his carapace, and boom, Bat Rider's initiation has just been interrupted. And so just the 4th ban over from insert name here. They're deliberating a bit, cutting into their reserve time, cutting it a bit close. They've only got 25 seconds left there. They've realized that they've cut out their mid and they've cut out offlane heroes so far with their bans. Doom can go into tri-lane, so they've banned out the Windrunner. It's a very surprising ban. Windrunner hasn't been picked up all too much because she is outclassed by a lot of offlane heroes. Particularly at the moment, Mirana can be seen as an analog to the Windrunner in the offlane, in the sense that she is a squishy ranged hero that has an escape mechanism to lead compared to Windrunner's Windrun. But the advantages of Mirana is she's consistently more powerful, she offers a much more reliable source of damage, and looks like they've gone for the Bounty Hunter offlane. This is something we haven't seen in a very long time. Bounty Hunter used to be picked up in almost every single game a few patches ago because of that track, because of the fact that in a 1v1 situation, once he picks up a poor man's shield, which he could very well start with and get pulled a few tangos, he is very difficult to drive out of the lane. High armor, coupled with that Janata, extremely good in the 1v1 situation. Once he hits level 6 or even level 11, he starts to reach critical mass. You get a few track kills, you provide huge amounts of gold to everyone on your team. Can use that advantage to pick up a few key items for your support heroes especially, get an early mech, pick up early phase drums in the Vladimir's offering, start running around. Also, it exerts that invisibility tax on the support heroes of Team Blink. They constantly have to walk around with sentries, they constantly have to carry dust every time they want to go on him. Drawbacks to the Bounty Hunter, though, is his Windrun compared to Windwalk, compared to every other invisibility spell in the game, it does not provide any form of movement speed. So all it does is turn him invisible and give him a little bit of damage. So if you catch him out at level 1, when he only has level 1 Windwalk, he doesn't have boots, you catch him out with a Dust, he's dead. Especially with that increased buff to Dust range, as well as the fact that it now snares you slightly by about 10%. If the supports roam in, catch you out with a Dust, you pop your invis, you're dead, there's nothing you can do against that. Weaver's the 3rd pickup. Very surprising considering the fact that there is a Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter is considered a pretty good counter pick to Weaver, just because not only does track provide vision through invisibility, but it also provides a 20% movement speed buff when you're within 2,000 range of them. So that means that Weaver's biggest advantage is the fact that he is very slippery through Sakuchi. He essentially has a haste run every couple of seconds. Bounty Hunter helps to mitigate that factor, and the Juggernaut is the 4th pickup. Very strong tri-lane coming out. So Crystal Maiden Juggernaut, and looks like the 5th pick will be the secondary support hero. We might see something perhaps like a Visage. Really good way to punish the aggression coming out from Blink.
5 seconds remaining.
And the advantage of Juggernaut is the fact that as a tri-lane hero, if he goes for spin as well as healing ward, when you do kill enemy heroes, you can immediately take a tower. All you have to do is drop down the healing ward. Very powerful ability, especially if you micro it properly. And it looks like we've got Naga Siren as the 4th picker for Team Blink. So it looks like we're going to be seeing Ancient Apparition, Weaver, and Naga Siren tri-lane. Very powerful in the sense that Naga Siren provides that extra few seconds of lockdown with that net. It helps mitigate Ancient Apparition's weakness is his lack of a reliable CC. He does have Cold Feet, but Cold Feet works especially well with Naga Siren because you throw out the Ensnare, you throw out the Cold Feet, it gives him enough time for the Cold Feet to proc, gives you a few extra seconds to disable. Ancient Apparition most likely will be choosing to max out that Chilling Touch, that's what Blink seems to love to do, and for very good reason, especially with 3 heroes in the tri-lane, providing that huge damage buff to all of them. Can mean the difference between a kill and a death, especially in the, and also means that you can't trade hits with the supports from Blink Dota. In terms of the final 5th pick for ban for both sides, we've got Storm Spirit, very powerful mid hero, one of Snow's favorite heroes. From its high amount of mobility, similar to that Ember Spirit, with that ball like he can zip in, zip out, rain hell. And once he pick up an Orchid, can pick up any of the support heroes over on insert team name here. And we've got the 5th ban, which is the Templar Assassin. This is done specifically to ensure that the Ember Spirit can win his lane. As we've got a Pudge pickup, very surprising, as Ember Spirit completely destroys Pudge in lane. Flame Guard means that Pudge can't kill him at all, even if he does hook him in. The fact that Flame Guard mitigates all of his rot damage means Ember Spirit has a very easy time. If for whatever reason he chooses not to go for Flame Guard, he can always choose to max out Slater Fist. Every 5 seconds, throw that out, harass the Pudge out of the lane. And a Magnus, so it could be a Magnus offlane, Ember Spirit. Yeah, Blink Z's their offlane player, so offlane Magnus, Ember Spirit in the middle lane, Ancient Apparition, Weaver, and Naga Siren tri-lane. Over on the Dire side, we've got Pudge as their mid lane hero, most likely. Actually, I'm not too sure how they're going to lane this, because they've got both Nature's Prophet and a Bounty Hunter. Are they going to do 2-1-1 with the Nature's Prophet jungle? Very surprising. We'll see how they choose to lane this. And so just introducing the players once again. Flash, the tri-lane, safe lane farmer for Team Blink. Very talented player, gets a lot of GPM. Good with the CSing. We've got Blink, Snow, Blink Snow, over as their mid lane player. He's playing one of his favorite heroes, the Ember Spirit. We've got Yoshi as well as DDY on their support heroes. So DDY over that Naga Siren choosing to level Ensnare at level 1. Yoshi hasn't skilled yet, goes for the Ancient Apparition. Yoshi's been playing a lot of Ancient Apparition recently and for good reason. Z over on the Magnus. Looks like they're giving the safe lane to the Magnus and looking to clash try. A lot of pings coming up from Ember Spirit. Maybe they're looking to go for a level 1 gank with that Ensnare. And with Yoshi haven't skilled his ability yet, he could go for that Cold Feet, but most likely he'll be going for that Chilling Touch. Interesting that Naga Siren's chosen to go for that Ensnare. That's indicative of the fact that they want to clash at level 1. Usually, you want to go for Riptide, as that offers a lot more level 1 than the 2-second Immobilize from the net. Wongza, yeah, that looks like a jungling Nature's Prophet. Oh, he's about to get called out. Gets hit by the net. Chilling Touch goes down. He's going down. There's no way he's getting out of this. And last hit goes to Naga Siren. Means early boots for her. Off to a good start for Blink already. There we go. So we've got a dual lane at the top lane with Viceroy Gunray as that Juggernaut, as well as I Don't Even Smoke with that Crystal Maiden leveling Crystal Nova at 1. Nature's Prophet already off to a terrible start. He's feeding 1 kill. And Pudge with that new set, I think it's the Gladiator one. I haven't been keeping up to date with it. He started off with a Stout Shield, which is very interesting, considering the fact that he's up against that Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit, one of his drawbacks is the fact that he does have low armor, but in a melee mid situation is not a big deal. Pudge actually winning the pull there as he let that range creep go up front. The range creep does the majority of the damage in terms of the creep equilibrium, so if the range creep goes down, your lane will be pushed further back, as the range creep on the other side will be able to deal more damage to your creeps than you could deal to them. So we see some CSing going on. Over in the bottom lane, we've got Bounty Hunter up against the Magnus. I would have to give, it's a pretty even matchup in the sense that Magnus can spam out that Shockwave, use that to harass out the Bounty Hunter, but Bounty Hunter also has a lot of free harassment coming out with that Janata, especially with that Windwalk combination. It'll be interesting to see who goes on top on this, but it should, if a kill attempt does go down, it most likely will be Z, as he could always choose to chase down Bounty Hunter and finish him off with that long-range Shockwave. However, if he does take a lot of harassment from that Bounty Hunter, once he grabs that poor man's shield, You can kill him with a level 2 or level 1 Shuri Toss. Wongza being pinged out there by supports of Team Blink. They're both rotating in. Naga Siren leading the way. She picked up a boot. She goes in for the ensnare. Tactical puppy paws coming out from Bounty. It could be a bit of lag at difficulties they're having. They're all over at the Internet Cafe after all. We've got Snow rotating in as well, so he wants a piece of this. He wants to get that extra EXP. Most likely he'll be choosing to max out that Fire Guard, as we see right here. He's already got 1 point up in it. He'll be hitting level 3 from that gank, so he'll have 2 points up in that Flame Guard. Can use that to both sustain himself and lane against that Pudge if he does go on him, but also to drive him out of lane. As Flame Guard is essentially a free radiance, as long as it's active, every time you level it up, it increases the duration from 8 seconds up by 4 seconds every level. So that means that Pudge, as a melee hero, he has to sit there and tank it if he wants to go in for CS. So he's going to be constantly taking a lot of harassment. You see, he's already burned through his tangos. He's just got a healing salve left. And once Pudge hits level 6 or level 7, he'll be able to start moving around and rotating for kills. But until then, isn't an awful lot he could do, especially against the fact that he's an Ember Spirit. So even if he does hook him into the creep wave, unless he hooks him into the tower, where the tower lasts, the physical damage from the tower will be able to do a lot more damage. Wongza throws out trees. I'm not too sure what the rationale for that is. It's called out by the Searing Chain and goes down. Snow picks up a free kill.
Your minions, my fuel.
And looks like he already has a bottle waiting for him in the courier. Ken getting a bit of CS. So leading the board, we have that Weaver. The advantage of Weaver, especially in a 2v1 situation like this, is he knows that he's going to be fine. There's no way at all Coastal Maiden and Juggernaut can catch him out. If they do go for a Sentry and Surprise Flash by coming up with a Frostbite, they can perhaps go for a kill attempt on him, but more or less it's going to be very difficult for them to get a kill over in Weaver, so that means that the supports from Blink, they can rotate around. They don't have to sit around and babysit them. They're going to do what they do best, which is rotate around the map, create opportunities for their other heroes to get kills, particularly in the mid lane. Looks like we're going in the gank attempt. Crystal Man's a bit too far forward, eating through the trees, throws out the ensnare. Sakuchi, followed by the Gemini attack, and Weaver gets a free kill. Could be a trade over in DDY. He's eating a lot of that Bladespin damage. But no, Viceroy Gunray turns around, decides, no, I'm going to get the hell out of there, eats a few Chilling Touch hits to the face, and Yoshi takes him down. Excellent plays coming up from Blink, a lot of early game aggression. This is what they love to do. They love to win their lanes, they love to secure that early game, and use that gold and EXP advantage to transition to the mid game once they start picking up towers, and use that to snowball ahead. Dota's a game about small gains. If you get an early advantage, you secure it, you make it bigger, and you use that to power through into the mid game. So yeah, there we go. 1 point up in that Slate of Fist, mainly to secure that Slate of Fist and the Searing Chain combination. Choosing to max out that Flame Guard. Over in the bottom lane. Looks like Nature's Prophet's transition bot. He knows he's not safe in the jungle, so he's sitting around with Bounty Hunter, leeching some EXP. Bounty Hunter's not too happy with this. It delays his level 6, it delays his ganking power. He needs those points up. That Shuriken Toss, if he could max out that Shuriken Toss at level 7, 325 damage. That's a lot of magic power coming up from him. Gank attack happening once again. Sakuchi, Chilling Touch, Ensnare, Gemini, the Ensnare, and he goes down. That's one of the underrated synergies with Ancient Apparition and Weaver. With Gemini attack, he gets 2 attacks off for the price of 1. With Chilling Touch, with Cold Touch active, that's 2 extra hits he's getting in, maxing out that Chilling Touch. Pudge with a double damage rune, getting harassed out by that Flame Guard with Snow, hanging around the middle lane. He's actually leading for CS right now at 13 for 7 compared to Ember Spirit. Actually, about the same. He's got 2 more denies though. Goes in for the Searing Chain. Another kill happening on the top lane. I apologize for missing that. Looks like Juggernaut went a bit too far, died to that Sakuchi coupled with the Gemini attack. He's picked up that point in Swarm. The reason why you go for a point in Swarm at level 4 is for the killing power it gives you, because it enables you to dive a tower. The tower will choose to prioritize aggro over in the bug over you, so it means you can dive. Not only that, provides vision so it shuts them down, prevents them from juking you, as well as that negative armor, which is always nice. Snow rotating to the bottom lane with his regeneration rune. He's off to a great start so far. Once he hits that level 6, he'll be able to start raining some ruckus, especially with that ult, giving him that high mobility. Regeneration rune picked up. Nature's Prophet gone to the top lane. This Nature's Prophet pick really isn't working out too well. Very greedy inside of the Dire, choosing to go for both the Nature's Prophet as well as the Bounty Hunter. You want one offlaner, not 2. I guess they wanted him to go into the jungle. A bit of action happening in the bottom lane. Z taking a bit of damage. Throws out that shockwave saying, get the hell back. Bounty Hunter's choosing to max out Shuriken Toss. It's been interesting he hasn't gone for that second point in Janata. Usually Bounty Hunters, especially if they're up against a melee matchup like this. Oh, there we go. We've got excellent charge back, coupled with the shockwave, and great play from Z, utilizing the pullback from his charge to draw back in the tower, get the 1 or 2 tower hits off, follow up with the shockwave, and go in for that last hit. Viceroy Gunray backing around. Supports from Blink are playing very aggressively. DDY is hanging around. Off to a bit of a poor start so far, but we'll see how they choose to transition. They do have... Oh, never mind. Juggernaut's chosen to go stats over Bladespin. This is coming back from Dota 1, where the reason why you went Blade Spin into stats is at level 6, Juggernaut doesn't have a big enough mana pool to use both spin and then slash right afterwards. Z almost going down, taking a lot of damage. Shuriken toss might have been used, yeah, it looks like it was used, but wasn't enough to go over for the kill. He's sneaking around from the backhand, trying to go in for a backstab, but Magnus has wisely backed out already. But the reason why Juggernaut players usually go spin stats is because you didn't have enough mana to go for both spin and then follow up the ult immediately at level 6. You needed that point of stats just so that you could do both. So once you hit level 6, you go for a kill attempt, use Blade Spin, drive them away from the creep wave, and follow up the Omni Slash. Once they're away from creeps, get that full 3 slashes off. Easy kill. Looks like he has picked up that point over in the healing ward, so he went for that stat so he would have that flexibility to be able to spin then ult. A lot of Juggernaut players nowadays like to counteract that by starting with stat items like a few Ironwood branches, maybe picking up something like a wand. But usually you want to make sure you get that healing ward up. It gives you so much push power. Really enables Juggernaut to transition from strong and being strong in the lane to being strong in the mid game. We can use that to get tower gold, do a lot of harassment, and gives you that great sustainability. It means that even if you don't have any dedicated pushes, so if you don't have the Shadow Shaman Serpent wards up, for instance, you don't have that exorcism, you can still push, just because the healing wall enables you to sustain all your creeps and sustain yourself, taking a lot of harassment over from Flash. That Gemini attack coupled with Sakuchi doing work. Even with that PMS, he's taking a lot of damage. Spot rotation coming in. Wangzar called out once again. Snow with that DD as well as the Chilling Touch just brings him down one final cut. He's got level 4 up in Flame Guard. Pudge gets a good hook in. Kills off Yoshi. Yoshi caught a little bit out of position there. Pudge sitting at level 8. He needs to start rotating. He needs to start creating space for the rest of his team. Because right now they're starting to fall behind. They're sitting at 9-for-1 advantage for Team Blink. DDY hanging around with Z just to give him a bit of support in case Bounty Hunter comes back. He's picked up their reverse polarity, has his arcane boots. He's off to a fantastic start, especially with the kill over on Bounty Hunter. Once he picks up that Blink Dagger, we'll be able to see some great Blink RP skill initiations. Ancient Apparition hanging around, gives Flash HP self. He's picked up treads. He's wary of the amount of burst damage coming out, especially if Juggernaut gets an Omni Slash up on him. So he's choosing to go with treads. A bit interesting is usually Weaver is one of the few heroes that you could choose to completely forego boots until later on in the game, just because Sakuchi gives him all the mobility he needs. Usually a lot of Weaver players like to max out, go for the Lincoln Sphere first. He's picked up a Quelling Blade. That's in deference to the Nature's Prophet. He knows that if he gets sprouted, he's dead. So he picked up that Quelling Blade wisely, knowing that if he does get caught out of position, Viceroy Gunray taking a lot of damage, but that healing ward should be fine. Crystal Maiden is going to be that trade, though. She's caught out of position. She's taking a lot of damage. Flash can choose to go on into this. He has time lapse. Decides wisely not to dive. Wasn't too sure if Juggernaut was level 6. If he was, he could always sit around that Omni Slash. Decided wisely not to dive. Juggernaut wasn't on level 5. But nonetheless, Blink, though they're playing it safe, they know they already have the lead. There's no need for them to throw anything away. In terms of EXP and gold difference, we've already got a 2,000 EXP lead. 8 minutes into the game. This is a significant lead, as it means that the support players over on Team Blink are more likely to have their ults up. Ancient Apparition almost level 6. Huge level up for him. Once he hits level 6, no one is safe anywhere on the map. Can allow him to snipe off enemy heroes. 4,000 gold lead. That's due to the 9 kills, as well as the efficiency in terms of CS. DDY with invisibility rune hanging around. Looks like he's going to initiate on Viceroy Gunray. Could choose to open with that net. Goes in the Crystal Maiden instead. Recognizes that Blade Spin would purge it off. Crystal Maiden goes down immediately. Viceroy Gunray spins. He's safe. But once again, Crystal Maiden's caught out of position. This is one of the things we've noticed a lot. Crystal Maiden's a very powerful pickup in certain situations, but you need to draft a team around it. You need to make sure that you guys are fighting an offensive tri-lane, that she's hanging around and using her spells to the best of her advantage in the early game, because otherwise she tapers off very quickly, choosing to max out the aura. Not usually a big fan of this, as you want to make sure that you maximize your early game input. It doesn't scale all too well. It's only 0.5 mana regeneration per second that you add. Ancient Apparition all flying down. Z skewers him into it. He's going to follow up that shockwave, and that should be... Actually, misses on the shockwave, but the ensnare finishes him off. The Riptide, sorry, finishes him off. Bit unfortunate, but nonetheless an excellent kill. Youngster off to a terrible start. His Magnus is severely delayed. That's one of the drawbacks to Nature's Prophet. He is a very greedy hero. Another pause out from Crystal Maiden. Could be having a few issues over in their end. They might be switching up the mouse sensitivity. But so far, I haven't seen any rotations coming out from Pudge. He's picked up Arcane Boot, so he's having a fantastic start. He has that smoke. He has his bottle up. He's doing great, but he needs to start rotating. He needs to ensure that they can create space for the rest of his team. Because especially Nature's Prophet, because he's such a greedy pickup, he isn't accomplishing anything at the moment. He's dying a lot of the time. Bounty Hunter going down a fair few times as well. The number one rule of the offlane is simply to stay alive. If you could do that, once you get your level 6, once you get your ult up, once you have that EXP lead over the supports on the other team, you can use that to generate kills. But it actually looks like Yoshi has more EXP than the offlane Bounty Hunter. That's due to Nature's Prophet TPing down bottom, leeching down a lot of his experience. Bit of friendly banter happening out from Blink. Weaver most likely going for that Lincoln Sphere. He's already got his Perseverance up. Flash is having a great game. He's 4-for-0. Really showcasing the offensive power of that Weaver, with that Sakuchi using to deal that damage, phase through them, line up the Gemini attack. Gemini attack means that your first hit is essentially 3. You get your first off, Gemini attack goes off again. Then by the time Gemini attack's gone off, you're already getting your second attack in. As Gemini attack doesn't stop or interrupt the base attack time that you already have. So once the attack's triggered, Gemini attack will fly off. Doesn't interrupt the animation, so you're already winding up for your secondary attack. Snow's already picked up drums as well as boots. So 9 minutes 42 seconds, boots and drum. Because he's picked up that drum, we'll see if he decides to go for phase boots. I know Snow likes to go for arcane personally. Yeah, it looks like he's going phase this game, as it means a lot more chasing power, a lot more damage over from Slater Fist. We've got Pudge TPing in for a rotation. I think Ember Spirit saw that, so he's able to message that out to his team. They'll be playing a little bit more defensively. Bounty Hunter coming up top as well. This is a very heavy investment coming out from the Dire side. He gets a hook off on Yoshi, and Yoshi's going down. There's no way he's getting out of that. Great play from King. Instantly getting that hook off. Both kills in the team so far going to Pudge. He really needs to create a lot more space for his team. Z's hanging around. He's going to continue farming until he gets that Blink Dagger, and then he'll be looking to start grouping up, going in for those pushes, going in for those ganks and fights, because they know with that RP they have that advantage. Flash going in, caught out of position with Bounty Hunter hanging around. Gets that time-lapse off, unfortunately, and looks like he should be fine. Turns around, throws out the ensnare, throws out that Riptide with that Swarm, and Slap and Tickle's going to go down. Great play coming out from Team Blink. Going in for a bit more. With that Ice Blast coming out, Viceroy Gun Ray actually could go down to the chill damage. Yeah, he's going to shatter. Crystal Man's going to go now as well. Never mind, he drops the ward, but ward doesn't do anything. Ancient Apparition ult freezes all HP regeneration. And great turnaround from Blake, especially with Yoshi following up that Ice Blast. Gets 3 kills for the price of none. Slater Fist and the Searing Chain combination, but unfortunately mistimes it, hits a creep instead. That's one of the drawbacks to the Searing Chains. It has a huge AoE, and it will hit the random 2 targets in that AoE, so to make sure that they're either away from creeps, or that you time it perfectly, because otherwise you'll wind up snaring a creep. Juggernaut picked up Phase Boots. He's having a pretty poor game as well. With Phase and PMS, he's not off to a great start. He's got that Sentry Ward, so looking to get a kill over on Flash. Magnus gets an excellent kill. Had to use that RP for that. Slap and Tickle's running around. He could get a blind Shockwave and try to kill him off with that. However, Slap and Tickle's hanging around. He throws out that Sakuchi. Omni Slash having to be expected for that as well, but finishes off that killing spree. Yoshi's going to go in for that JFK assassination. Just barely misses. Slap and Tickle realizes he's a second away from death. Walks away home free. He should be fine. Pudge hanging around the back end. He's seen to get a few pickoffs there, but Yoshi wisely hiding behind the tower. Out of range of that Pudge shield means that Pudge has to show himself. Going up top, ensnare, coupled with that Swarm and the Gemini attack. Snow gets that last hit in. And that looks like a top tower push right now that they have the opportunity to do. Blink sitting on over, DDY, he's got that point up in mirror images. Using that most likely for that scouting. That max out Riptide, Naga Siren does a lot of damage, a lot of work as a support hero, just because she scales so well. Snow, oh look, there we go, he called out Wongsa. Wongsa's got out position again. Searing Chain, few hits, doesn't have that Flame Gut, but with Fire Remnant and with Slater Fist to follow up, he's just going to right click him down. No TP support rotations coming in. Misses that Sprout. King's coming in, throws out the hook, gets the hook in over on Ember Spirit, but with that Fire Remnant, he's able to zip zap out of there. He's got Fire Guard off cooldown, so even if he does get a hook in, he should be fine. He might actually choose to turn around on this. No, he's juking now. He recognizes that the other support heroes over on Team NCBL on the round. Slap and Tickle hanging around. He's got that level 4 Shuriken Toss. Goes in for the initiation. Catching them with great lockdown coming out with that Dismember, with that Frostbite. And King gets a much needed kill over on that Ember Spirit. Ending the spree, gets a hook off, catches out Z. Z's able to skew out of there, unfortunately. King might be caught out of position there. DDY throws out the instead. DDY's now a little bit too far ahead. Gets caught out by the track. No mana on the Bounty Hunter, so he's not able to follow up the Shuriken Toss. Good play coming up from insert team name. They did get a kill over on Snow, shutting down his momentum. King's hanging around. Great Pudge play from him so far. Almost all of his hooks have landed. He's been doing a great job securing inside the secure space for his team by punishing the over-aggression coming up from Blink. Flash is continuing to farm the top lane. They really do need to kill him. He's 5-0. Almost got that Lincoln Sphere, about 700 gold off. King throws out a hook, gets out DDY, but RP into Ice Blast combination, followed up with the blade spin from Viceroy Gunray. He's backing out. He doesn't want a part of this. Surprised only 2 heroes went down from insert team name here, considering how much damage came out. That's that team fight combination coming out right now. I don't even smoke. Drops that huge freezing field, gets a kill, gets caught out by the Slider Fist. Snow goes around for that cheeky Slider Fist, kills that Coastal Maiden. Great play coming out from both sides. Very messy fight. Would have to hand the advantage over to insert team name here, as they weren't able to kill any of the cores. They did lose Juggernaut once again. However, Team Blink did have to expend their huge RP as well as that Ice Blast, but Ice Blast is a 45-second cooldown. Goes in their Fire Remnant, but Bounty Hunter wisely backs off. Top lane's been pushed in the meantime with that Weaver. He's almost finished his Lincoln Sphere. Once he picks up his Lincoln, he'll look to pick up something like a Desolator, really building that physical DPS. The fact that he gets that free hit from German attack. Weaver's unique in terms of support carry heroes because he doesn't have to build attack speed with German attack. He just has to build damage. So Desolator is the perfect pickup for him. Really cost efficient DPS item, gives him that 60 damage, and most importantly, gives him the negative armor, so his follow-up hits do a lot more damage. Great play from Z, so following up with the Shockwave, blinks behind, skewers from behind, making sure he doesn't get caught up by the Sprout, and follows up the secondary Shockwave. Great Magnus plays coming up from Z. He's really been impressing us so far with his skewer combination, especially with Blink. Great initiation early on. We saw the power of that skill when he skewered the Bounty Hunter back into the tower range, ensuring that he got that kill in the 1v1 situation. Blinks just to get that creep. I mean, hey, Blink Dagger no longer costs mana. Do whatever the hell you want with it. Flash has picked up his Lincoln Sphere. He's got flying out to him right now. Viceroy Gunray, he hasn't been having a very good game. He's sitting for 1 for 4. Flash can choose to go on them right now. He knows he has time lapse. He uses that Blade Spin, trying to DPS him down, but Omni Slash doesn't deal damage instantly, so even if he does throw out that Omni Slash, all Flash has to do is throw out the time lapse. And he has picked up his Lincoln Sphere, so maybe he was trying to bait that out. We have a Pudge going down the bottom lane. Snow goes in for the kill. Slater Fist and Siren chain combination. I don't even smoke. Caught way out of position. DD1 can follow up within the stand a few seconds. Gets clipped by the Shockwave. Goes down. Slap and Tickle. He's called out by the Blink side. Goes down. No, never mind. Looks like he should be fine. Fire guards flying out. One side's got to sacrifice his life. He's really hating Snow. Slater Fist will get that last hit. Thought that Slater Fist hit on Bounty Hunter, but he was just out of range. Looks like he gets to walk away safe. Snow picks up a triple kill. Phase drums, 3.3k. We'll see if he picks up that Desolator before Weaver does. If his lead continues, Viceroy Gunray caught in a position, killed by Blink. That's that power of that Weaver. You saw he threw out that Swarm. He's able to continue to chase and dive him. He threw out that time lapse, so he baited out the ult, used time lapse to go through it. He has Lincoln Sphere, so Lincoln Sphere could have blocked his ult as well. But excellent kill coming out from Team Blink. Sitting at 25 for 6, 12,000 gold EXP lead, and over 10,000 gold lead. DD Wyatt grouping over the bottom lane with Snow around, throws out that mirror image. Looks like it's another Tail 1 tower going for free over inside of Team Blink. And the Blitzkrieging boys from Blink, they're back in action. They're showing, hey, this is what we do. We win the early game, we get that early lead, and we keep snowballing. Greedy picks from the Dire side, really biting them in the ass. That dual lane against a tri lane really doesn't work out. You want to make sure that it's always try-v-try or 1v3, never a 2v3, as it never seems to work out so far in the ODL. Very few heroes that can do well in a 2v3 situation. They could have simply just chosen to skip the tri lane, send that Bounty Hunter to the top, maybe have him go 1v3 while the next Prophet goes 1v1 over it. King called out, scouted out by that Fire Remnant. Eats a Riptide. Eats the Ensnare. Looks like he's going down. He's caught out of position. Follow up the Skewer. And there we go. He goes down to the one last hit from Magnus. Throws out the ult just out of spite. It's got a 30-second cooldown, so he's not really too fussed. Slater Fist and the Siren chain. One star called out position once again. He's not accomplishing anything. Huge freezing field. Catches out to. Dies to the Ice Blast. Z's backing out. He might go down to Viceroy Gunray. Gunray's trying to chase him down, but no, he's got that blink out 1 second, and he should be fine. Snow buys back. He wants blood. He wants revenge. He's going to throw out that Fire Remnant. Zip on the Viceroy Gunray. He has that secondary Fire Remnant as well. Throws out the Slater Fist. Doesn't get Siren chains off in time. Cold Feet going on him, but it's not going to do anything. Ice Vortex slows him down. Snow's just going to chase him down. Wait until the Blade Spin goes off cooldown. Throw out that Siren Fist. Siren chains, and then beat him down. He's juking. He gets caught up on his Siren chain. Throws out the ult out of spite. Not going to do anything. Buying time, King has respawned in the meantime. He has a blink ticket, he goes in on Yoshi, and then shares with his member, kills him with the hook. That's the pure damage coming out from the hook. 360 pure damage. Looks like Viceroy Gunray might survive, never mind, he goes out to that Slater Fist. Snow's now called out of position, he's got a Remnant. Is he going to throw it out? There we go, he throws out the Remnant, he should be fine. He's got a second one, just came off cooldown. And unless King gets a great blink into hook combination, Snow should be fine. He's got a Fire Remnant. He's juking his way out of there. Excellent blink into hook, but once again, Snow just used that Fire Remnant. He's out of Fire Remnants now. They recognize this. Turns around. Flash is hanging around the background. Pig Hunt's called out from King, but looks like he's going to go down to the Weaver. Weaver, never mind, turns around. Blink RP coming up from the Magnus. He follows up. Great combination coming out from him. Shockwave doing damage. Follows up with the skewer. Hook misses, never mind, he catches out Flash, but that actually turned out to be King's drawback. He actually denies himself of that rot. He recognizes, hey, hang on, that's not the hero I'm looking for. Bounty Hunter backs away. And once again, great plays coming out from Blink. Snow turning around, actually, never mind, he doesn't have vision over on Slap and Tackle. Viceroy Gunner having a terrible game. Looks like he's going for that Vladimir's offering. Give himself that armor for the rest of his team. Great pickup, especially against a hero like a Weaver. As a +5 armor, especially to support heroes, can offer a lot. Bit surprising that Bounty Hunter hasn't picked it up, but he's off to a pretty poor start himself. He probably will be picking up drums, or going to that BKB. He needs stats so he can stay alive. Very surprised that both the Juggernaut, there we go, Slater Fist and the Siren Chain combination, called out with the Siren Fist, the Siren Chains, and killed off by the Shockwave. Flash throws out the Swarm just in case. Blink Skewer, I don't even smoke, he's going down. Z's called out by the hook, and Dismember looks like a 1-for-1 trade over there. Good communication. With that song that's starting to set up that Ice Blast, Viceroy Gunner's go down to the Shadow. Yoshi's gonna die to Slap and Tackle. But Flash finishes him off. Snow leads in with that Slater Fist. Another underrated combination that's coming out from Team Blink is the fact that you have the Magnus and Power over on Snow. It means he doesn't have to go for that Battle Fury. He has a free Battle Fury. Great hook over on DDY. King is really being on point with those hooks. He's dealing a lot of damage. Desolator picked up on Snow. Flash is only at about 3.8k. With Desolator being picked up by Snow, he could choose to forego that and go for someone who can MKB. He could always choose to pick up Desolator himself. I mean, it's still a great item. But the reason why it's so good in the Ember Spirit is during Slater Fist, it applies a debuff to every single hero it hits. Much like Omni Slash, it means that if he throws it out, it hits all 5 heroes are negative 7 armor. Means that you don't need a secondary Desolator, but it looks like he's picking up anyway. It still gives a lot of damage. It means that if Snow doesn't happen to catch someone out with that Slater Fist, Flash can always follow up and go on that target. As the primary advantage of the Weaver is the fact that he can instantly go into your backline with that high mobility, very hit and run kind of tactics. He can run in, start picking up that backline, catch out the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden can't do anything against Weaver, especially with that Link Sphere pickup. If he throws out the Frostbite, it'll just pop to Linken's. Crystal Nova doesn't do anything against Weaver's high mobility. Weaver can chase him down, kill him in a few hits, immediately turn around, start focusing on everybody else. It means that the Crystal Maiden always is going to die in these fights, as Weaver can instantly go on her. 4 stuff picked up by Ancient Apparition. Just going to do a quick item check. Looks like Naga Siren's going for that Diffusal Blade. No mechanisms picked up. Magnus has actually gone for the Carry Magnus build. He's saying, hey Snow, I got this. You don't need to do anything. Flash, I got this, boys. I got Mask of Madness. I got Chrysalis. With some power, it should be fine. Pops that Mask of Madness to farm. Slap and Tickle's hanging around. King's also hanging around the backhand. Blinks out. Recognizes something's a little bit fishy. Yoshi's actually going to be caught way out of position right now. Could be a Courier Snipe. Yeah, looks like Slap and Tickle's going to go for the Courier. Hook over on Flash. Flash is actually caught way out of position. Dice feeds 1,000 gold to Pudge. That's a huge kill for Pudge. Would have been better if it went over on somebody else. Yoshi jukes out the hook. DDY caught out of position, forced to blow the song. It's a level 2 song though, so 120-second cooldown. Not the end of the world. Wongstar TP's in, but TP's into the song. Having a pretty terrible game. Still hasn't picked up the Midas. Has gone for Treads instead. Not really accomplishing anything so far for his team. Hasn't been able to go for those split pushes. Snow gets a kill over on Viceroy Gunray with that Slater Fist and Fire Remnants out. Yoshi turning around saying, hey, we can fight this. Throws a few hits with that Chilling Touch. Takes out a lot of Nature's Prophet's HP. Maxing out Ice Vortex secondary. Cold Feet, good combination, but wants to provide that Snow for his team. Z blinks in, pops his Mask of Madness, starts beating him down. Finishes the kill with that Shockwave. He's having a fantastic game so far. Pudge sitting around 2,000 gold. We'll see if he goes for that 4-star. Blinks in, goes in for a hook, misses a hook. Fat jukes around the King, called out. Is called out with the ensnare. You can't juke that, but he'll be fine. The Skewer almost hit him. If it nudged him, it would have interrupted. And there you go, that's that power of that Weaver once again. Crystal Maiden immediately dies to 3 hits with that Gemini attack, with that negative armor, and that Swarm with the Scoochie damage. Does not stand the pressure. She's having an awful game. She's 2 for 11. 9 kills away, 9 deaths away, sorry, from the Melk Award, but she does have 2 kills at least from those freezing fields. So there you go, she's got that going for her. Weaver with his damage up is picked up. He could choose to... Oh, he's picked up a Vitality Booster, so he might be going for a harder Tarrasque. Great pickup on the Weaver, as with that time lapse, he already has 2 lives. He's hard enough to kill as it is. With harder Tarrasque, especially with the fact that when you're out of combat for a few seconds, you start to regenerate damage. So if you're not taking any damage, you should be fine. Viceroy Gunray, wisely recognizing that Weaver doesn't have any way to interrupt TPs. TP's on home. Z blinks once again to get that CS. Is tracked out by the Bounty Hunter, but this Bounty Hunter and Nature's Prophet pick really aren't working out too well for them. The fact that they decide to have a Nature's Prophet jungle against an offensive tri-lane with 2 heroes such as that Naga, Siren, and the Ancient Apparition who can roam, leaving Weaver to his own devices. Very costly. Cost him a lot in the early game. I don't even smoke. Eats a nice blast to the face. She's going to be forced back. Z goes in, almost goes in for the RP, decides to cancel it, eats an Omni Slash to the face, skewers out. Snow taking a lot of damage. Looks like he might actually go down, never mind. Freezing Field thrown out. But Snow with that Fire Guard is able to tank that Freezing Field. Flash jumps on into Wongside. He has his time lapse, he has his Linkers, he should be fine. Blink him. Follow up with a Shockwave. Snow catches him out with Slater Fist. Triple kill on Snow once again. He's picked up a crit stick. He's fishing for crits with that Empower, with that Desolator, as well as the Slater. His Slater Fist hurt like hell. If he picks up a Desolator, he can actually one-shot the Crystal Maiden if he catches her out in the Slater Fist and gets a crit. This could be a game, folks. We got 25,000 EXP lead and 20,000 gold lead. 25 minutes into the game, we're sitting at 44 for 14. Blink Dota doing what they love to do, getting that early aggression, taking kills, taking names, and snare into Swarm. And Snow goes in for 1 hit, cuts Crystal Maiden in half, she shatters. Nothing she can do. Going in for the top lane. Top lane, Tier 3 has already taken a lot of damage. That's 2 lanes of Rax. It could even be 3 lanes of Rax. The King coming around from the sideline. Looks like he's trying to pick off Blink. If he gets a hook in, that'll instantly kill Z. But the rest of his team aren't able to do all too much to help out right now. Yoshi hanging around. He's picked up a gem. Is wary for that Bounty Hunter. Is going for that Aghanim Scepter. Has picked up Point Booster already. Pudge giggling to himself over in the backhand. We have a Diffusal Blade pickup by DDY. Great pickup on Naga Siren, as not only does it give you another form of snare in terms of you've got the Immobilize from the net, as well as that Purge coming up from the Diffusal. When you use your mirror image, all of your images inherit the Mana Burn from the Diffusal, so it's actually a great DPS pickup on her. Means that she could throw out her ult, walk up to say the Crystal Maiden, drop a mirror image, turn around, have all of them focus fire her, slay the Fist and Siren Chain combination, follow up with the Shockwave, Weaver gets that last hit in. Crystal Maiden not having a great game. She's not enjoying this at all. Every time she's seen by the Radiant side, she dies almost instantly. Daedalus pickup on Magnus. Carry Magnus coming out strong. We'll see if he decides to get a little bit cheeky, pick up a Battle Fury as well to go on top of that. Snow hanging around. He's got 4k. He's got enough to finish his Daedalus. Every time he throws out Slater Fist, the Dire side have to be wary. If they get too low, you can throw out that Siren Chain to follow up. Jump in with a Fire Remnant and they're dead. He's taking a lot of damage from that tower right now. No sustain coming up from Radiant side. They don't have a mech. They don't have an urn. DDY initiates with that song. Catches out 4. This could be a game right here, folks. Slap and Tickle, as well as King called out. Choosing to... Oh, misses the skewer. Bit of a misplay from Z. Has missed 2 skewers so far. Bit awkward, but what can you do? Blinks in, gets that Shockwave, says, hey, I know I screwed that one up, but here, let me prove myself. Youngstar called out that Slater Fist and Siren Chain combination, goes down to 1 last hit from Flash, and Snare throw it out to trap his corpse. King throws out a hook, wanted to hook them into the fountain, but not all too much they can do. Ice Blast goes out, whips an RP. Viceroy Gunray uses spin to stay alive, but he's going to shatter nonetheless. Once that spin wears off, he dies. Flash uses a time lapse to Jukon out of there. And that looks like game, folks. They're just going for Tier 4s. Buyback from Snow. He's out for blood. He buys Boots of Travels. Goes back in. King hanging around the smoke. He's had a good game, but the rest of his team, not too much. Wasn't able to create enough space for his team. The other 2 lanes failed pretty badly. There's only so much the mid lane can do. Z hanging around, he sees him, has 2 blink daggers, is hooked out by King. King being pretty on point, gets a little bit of vengeance. 1 hit from Ember Spirit brings Crystal Maiden down to a 1/4 of her life. Takes out, sorry, a 1/4 of her life. Wongstar taking a lot of damage from that crit. Flash is hanging around, he has that time lapse, he's fine. They're just fountain farming at this point. Viceroy Gunray, he has picked up his Lightning's offering, caught out by the hook, but Snow isn't able to, he doesn't have Dismember off cooldown. And there we go, 28 minutes and 54 seconds in, Game 1 goes to like in a commanding lead, 51 for 16. Just going to take a short break for a few minutes. I'll restart the stream once we're back in lobby again. Stay tuned, grab a drink of water, I'll be right back.